here, they want to talk about edges. They want to talk. Okay, hold on, what? Bro, you are so rude. What is it? Bear would like me to inform you guys that he has never had edges, so he does not care to partake in this video. And I understand. Let me elaborate, because you know Bear can be a little rude and a little blunt and a little lazy, to be honest, because I know you just got a date, so that's why you don't really want to participate. Any old excuse, I swear. But I do want to touch on that. If you are somebody who has never had edges, like your entire life, you got baby pictures where you are edgeless, I do want to let you know there is no video you can watch. There's no hair growth oil, hair growth serum, no pill you can take to get something that you ain't never had. Okay? And it is perfectly fine to not have edges. Okay? You can still have a sleek look without them. Also, if you are somebody that has experienced hair loss with your edges and it's been over 2 years and they have not grown not one bit, to where you don't even see like any holes or anything for hair growth, yeah, your scalp is severely damaged. Okay, so no YouTube video, no DIY at that point is going to get your hair to grow back. And the reason I'm saying this is because you guys know that I do hair consultations. If you would like a hair consultation, I will link that above, and it's basically where you can FaceTime me for like, actually I don't even put a time limit on it. We be on FaceTime for like so long, and I can look at your hair and I can really help you build a hair routine, etc. Anything that you need help with, we can sit down, FaceTime about it. I can look at the hair products you're using and we can really get to the nitty-gritty of your hair. Now, I've done some hair consultations with some people who have experienced hair loss. There was one lady, bro, she had spent way over $2,000, and she had spent like 2 years of her life actually trying to get her hair to grow back from a really, really tough, really bad relaxer. And she told me none of those hair growth serums worked. Even the medical treatments that she went through, that was way over $2,000 worth, they did not work. So she really had to sit down and kind of come to terms with her scalp was damaged, and she was just going to have to figure out a way to work around that, you know, build her confidence up and accept the hair loss that she's had. And the reason I'm saying this is because there are a lot of videos that will tell you how to get edges, and nobody really sits down and explains to you that if you ain't never had edges, or if your scalp is severely damaged, there really isn't nothing that you can do. But build up your confidence, find hairstyles that work for you, and to really slay in your own right as a person, okay? So if you're somebody who has thinning edges, I would say these DIYs that I have are definitely for you, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, in order to have healthy edges, there are like 4 or 5 hairstyles that you should not be touching. Number 1, high poofs and low buns. I know your girl got a high poof in, but this is actually really important, because when it comes down to what hair ties you're using, how tight you're tying it, do you have fine hair strands, all of those things play a part in who should really be participating in the high poof, low bun hairstyle. But nobody really talks about that, and it can lead to a lot of damage when it's done wrong and it's done on the wrong type of hair. So let me explain that to you real quick. When it comes to high poofs and low buns, people with fine strands, you are more than likely going to be the group of people that experiences the brunt of hair loss, okay, or hair thinning or hair breakage. It's typically going to be you, because we do not do well. Yes, I'm saying we, because I'm somebody who has fine hair. We do not do well with tension-based styles. And a high poof is a tension-based style, especially when you're not using the right equipment. Like if you're using a shoestring, if you're using a strip of cloth, if you're using a random piece of rope that you found. Your girl, that's what I was doing. And you could always clearly see, I'm always the girl that has like the little halo of hair that's broken off or whatever. I've been that girl since I was a kid. Yeah. You are going to be that person who experiences that. So if you are finding that your edges are thinning, that is more than likely the cause if you are somebody who is wearing high poofs and low buns and you are using ropes or strings in order to tie them off. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't wear high poofs, but if you're finding that your hair is thinning, I would lay off of the high poofs and low buns. Okay, I would lay off of them, and I would also go out and get some snappies, because snappies are really, really difficult, like super difficult to really tie too tight. Okay, like you cannot really tie a snappy too tight, and even if you tie it to the max of little ties, it still isn't going to create any tension around your hairline. So I would highly suggest getting snappies, but if you're already experiencing thinning, I would say just lay off of high poofs for a while. Okay, and do not brush your edges into your high poof. Actually, just let them kind of chill. If anything, drag them out before you even install the high poof, especially, you know, with the low bun. Cornrows. If you have thicker hair, cornrows are definitely for you, okay? I'm somebody who has a lot of hair density, so my hair appears to be thicker, but my hair strands are actually fine. I love braiding. I love cornrows. I have experienced so much breakage from cornrows. However, I'm about 8 or 9 years into my hair journey now, so I know how to safely install them. However, in the very beginning of my journey, around the 3rd or 4th year, your girl had no clue how to install braids on fine stranded hair without receiving breakage. Okay, like it's a struggle. So I would tell you guys, especially if you are new to braiding period, I would say go ahead and just do flat twists, because a lot of times we're wearing braids just so we can install wigs, and you do not have to use cornrows in order to have a flat base for your wigs. Okay, you don't. You can just use flat twists. You do not understand how hard it is to flat twist your hair so tight that you actually start to experience breakage or have headaches or have tension. Like, it's almost impossible to do that with a flat twist. Like, flat twists are designed to not create tension. Cornrows, yeah, girl, you gonna create some tension. Okay, so thicker stranded people, you're definitely safe in the cornrow section, but fine stranded, if you keep using cornrows, and of course, you know, in the Black community, we love a good tight cornrow. I know we do. You will start to notice that your hairline is going to recede. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times you may not notice your hairline receding, and basically when you start to lose your edges, your hairline is now receding. Okay, because your hairline and all of that is kind of a part of your edges. So when you start to notice that everything is thinning around your hairline, that's what happens when your hairline starts to recede. So, and it's not receding because of genetics like a man, but it is receding due to whatever hair care practices you have going on. Or maybe it's your genetics to have your hairline recede. Like, for example, my mom's hairline kind of recedes in this area right here where she starts to look like she has a massive widow's peak. More than likely, that's what's going to happen to me. So I do kind of, you know, keep in mind my temples, especially when I'm braiding my hair, because you can make your hair weaker. And so with cornrows, they're so tight that you're really kind of pulling and tugging and making that hair weaker. Okay, you don't have any other hair besides the hair that you got. So when you start making it weaker, it's going to be weak. And when it breaks off, that was your hair. It ain't nobody else's but yours. You don't have another set. That hair will be gone, which is why I'm telling you, please do flat twist. All right, I know everybody wants to do cornrows, but especially if you do not know how to braid. A lot of my breakage came from literally me trying to practice doing cornrows on my own hair. Okay, that's where a lot of my thinning hair and all of that came from. All right, so please keep that in mind. And you know, since we're already on, you know, cornrows for wigs, let's just go ahead and get into the lace fronts. Okay, using glue for lace fronts, because lace fronts aren't bad. It's really the glue and the technique that creates a thinning hairline. Okay, so let me explain. A lot of us, I've done it too. I have videos where I've done it. We placed our got-to-be glue literally on our edges. Okay, literally on our edges. So when you place the wig cap over your edges, then you put the got-to-be glue or the ghost bond or whatever on your edges, you are gluing the wig cap to the most thinnest part of your hair. And then when you go to take it off, it's glue. So it's really difficult. You really have to pull up on it and really try and hope that your edges don't snap off. Now, when you're taking your wig cap off, you might not see any edges or any hairs at that moment, but best believe you are making them weaker. So you might lift that up and be perfectly fine, but then a day later go to install some braids and then start pulling it out because the hair is weaker, because literally you keep putting glue and all of these harsh adhesives on your freaking weakest baby hairs. Okay, so over time they're just going to get weaker. Over time they're going to get looser and thinner. Like, could you imagine how glue, like the Ghost Bond and all that stuff, might actually, like, when you go to take it off, be pulling like some of the components or, you know, particles or whatever from your actual hair strand, causing your hair strand to be thinner and thinner every time you wipe that layer of glue off? Like, have you ever thought about that? And I'm not saying don't wear lace fronts, because I do, but what I am saying is you need to definitely place that glue on your forehead, okay? Not your edges. And I'm saying this because even when you really think about it, if you're a real wig wearer, you really shouldn't just place your lace front on your hairline, because it's going to cause, like, this is your hairline right here. Your wig doesn't actually start until back here. So you really shouldn't even place the actual, like, lace front, like the end of it, right on your baby hairs. You actually need to bring it down so the hairline of the actual wig can match your hairline. Therefore, the rest of your lace is going to be down here, because basically the rest of your lace is for the wig's baby hairs. So you need to pull that wig down. Now, you can, like we've always been doing, put the glue on your edges and then pull it down. However, I've seen this really cool new method where people actually just, they don't cut the lace off yet. They don't cut it off at all. And they go ahead and they put the glue before their edges, and then they pull it down to where they want it to be. Then they go in, because you already know that the glue is literally on your forehead. It is nowhere else. Then they go in and they trim that extra, you know, space of lace off. I find that to be the most beneficial, because you can put the glue literally on your forehead. And it works out. If you don't really understand what I'm talking about, I will leave the perfect video showing you how to do that instead of putting glue into your baby hairs, okay? I will leave that video in the description box. Now, next, we talked about this in the very beginning. You know, medical alopecia. There we go. Anything medical that just deals with hair loss, you definitely should go see a dermatologist or just go see a doctor, okay? Any DIY type thing is not going to work for a medical based problem. And the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of YouTubers don't really know what they're, like, I don't want to say don't know what they're talking about. Let me run that back. A lot of YouTubers talk about the quick fixes that they've used for whatever problem they've had, but they don't think about the grand scheme of people. So what happens is you might have a medical problem, and then you go on YouTube and you find somebody who created a video, and that video is literally specific to them wearing cornrows and their hair thinning. And so they're telling you, well, I was wearing cornrows and my hair was thinning, so I went ahead and used black castor oil, and that's what grew back my edges. So then you, somebody who has a medical condition, look at that video and go, oh, well, obviously the black castor oil is going to work. It grew her edges back, but y'all didn't have the same problem, okay? And what some YouTubers will tell you is, I'm not a medical, you know, I'm not a trained physician. I'm none of that. I'm just a DIYer, which is so true. And I really want you to keep that in mind when you have a medical condition. Do not skip the doctor and go to YouTube for medical hair loss, okay? Don't do that. You're gonna waste so much money and time, all right? And I can't stress this enough. I really can't, because like I said, I've had the hair consultations, I've sat down with you guys, I've talked to you, and I really see that being the not the number one, because like I said, the particular incident I told you about, she had already went to the doctor and, you know, came back to me at that point. But I've seen that happen in other consultations as well. It is very important for you to be in contact with your doctor. It doesn't even have to be a doctor, Okay, it could be a holistic doctor, but just somebody who knows more than you that isn't a DIYer. Okay, you know what I mean? Now, last but not least, brushes and edge control. That is very important. I don't always do my edges. As you can see in this video, they are not done. All right, I don't always do my edges because, to be honest, I don't really know what's in edge control. I don't. I'm not somebody who really looks at ingredients, but on top of the brushes that the beauty supply store sells, and on top of trying to find the best edge control, that is literally the trickiest wormhole ever. All right. And I say this because the brushes for edges are extremely stiff for no reason. Okay, so I see a lot of YouTubers that'll use the thick and they're in the beauty supply store right now. It comes with a rat tail comb and it comes with that thick brush. I thought that thick brush was soft. Okay, bought it real quick on a whim, got home, realized that junk is like what you use to clean your barbecue grill out. Like, that thing is hard. All right, and I don't really like that. Now, I love the rat tail comb side, so that's what I'll use. But, yo, those brushes are too hard. So I would definitely suggest using a soft toothbrush. Not a medium, not a hard. A soft toothbrush, okay? And then if you really need to get in there and sculpt your edges, use a rat tail comb. Now, the thing about edge control, a lot of us are kinky hair people and we're looking for the hardest edge control ever. You don't have to get a hard edge control to have everlasting edge control or control of your edges. You could literally use liquid-based edge control. You could use Gorilla Snot. Like, I love the liquidy ones. I mean, the Main Choice has a great one. It's their Type 4C Leaf Clover edge control, and it comes in a tube. It kind of looks, it was like a St. Patrick's Day kind of thing, so it's kind of like green and purple and really cute. I love that one. Okay, that one is for when your hair is wet, but I used it when it was dry. Only problem with it is it flakes like no other. It cakes like no other. And it's mad annoying because you literally have to go in with a little bit of shampoo and conditioner just for your edges after like the next day just to reapply it. Like, it was really annoying, but it held all day and it made your edges look wet. Like, I loved it. So you don't really need to use harsh edge control, because think about it, that's kind of tugging on your edges, and when you really have to get in there with a hard edge control and sculpt it out, like, you are sculpting, and that is not safe for our sensitive fine stranded baby hairs. Okay, so I really done gave you the run through everything I could give you. I wrote it all down on a piece of paper just to be official too, so like, I'm really trying here. If you cannot accomplish these things or get your routine down in these things, I poop you not. No matter what you buy, no matter what you use for thinning edges, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, because if you still go out and install cornrows on your fine stranded hair, if you're still going out putting glue on your edges, you could use the real BB Judy's hair growth oil or whatever y'all call that crud. Y'all can use everything in the world, but you're just going to rip it back out when you put that glue on them. Okay, you're just going to rip it back out when you put those cornrows in. So you have to master this first before you can even get to the remedy. So with that being said, definitely clicky this video to find what the remedy is. Okay, because I didn't really, like, I knew this video was going to be tough, so I didn't really want to put the remedy in this video. Okay, so click that video and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.